Yeah.
I was like, what? What's happened there?
Yeah.
But yes,
Back
we are
again.
here and we're back again. Consistency is what we're doing, and we're gonna keep on doing it. We are Darkness with a Ginger Hue, myself, Sir Toks, the man Slang Hugh, and of course our special guest, Latanya, aka LT in the house. How you all doing this
Hey, what up? What up?
day?
Yes, sir. We here back at it again. I'm not gonna say the phrase this time. They should know it by now.
If you've been a follower, you should know what's
better
up.
be.
Exactly, what's up. So yes,
Better be a
we're
follower.
back at it, and we are happy to say that it's been a good day. It's been a good day. I think it's been a good day. Has it been a good day for you guys?
Productive.
Indeed. Exactly.
Mhm.
Productive is
That's the
good.
word. That's
Productive
the
is
word.
good. Okay. Okay. Well, with that being said, let's ask, what have you done to better yourself today?
Ladies first.
You're on the spot. I know. Smooth.
What did I do to better myself? I I said it before, but I want to change it up
Mm.
and say something different.
Okay.
The anticipation.
Even
Yeah. We're like waiting on bated breath, as they say.
well, I took the time to, even though I was busy and I was able to do my things in and out of the house, I still took time to breathe. I was able to stay home, rest, and
Nice.
then go back out, do my thing. And then I had my live today. When I got off, I finished up some stuff, took a nap, got up. So the whole point is that even though I kept going, I was able to make time for myself
Nice.
as
Very
opposed to
important.
just go, 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 work, work, work.
Yep. Very key. I like that. I like
Very,
that.
very key. I like that as well. How
Mm.
about you, Slang?
No, you go first. Yeah.
Me? Well,
You beat me to it.
uh,
Doesn't get you first.
fair enough. Fair enough. In terms of the day, it was a chill day, really. Just relaxing and kind of going through the motions of what I've been going through, and just like I said, I really don't take naps. Like I said, I was when Elsie said she was taking naps. I'm like, yeah. At one point in the day, I'm like, I got nothing to do right now. I'm gonna go lay
Mhm.
down, and I did, and I passed out for maybe 30, 40 minutes.
Mm.
I felt refreshed. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I
Cat
felt
nap.
refreshed. That's why I'm like, what do I do now? Most of the time it's like it's go 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 until 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning straight.
Mhm.
But again, I didn't realize the significance of what a nap can do for you. It can just recharge the batteries, and then you're off again. So now I'm wired into who knows when, and I don't like that because it throws off my sleep pattern. So I don't
Mhm.
know when to lock off the brain and say, you know what, it's time to shut down. I'll be staying up until probably 3 o'clock in the morning watching shows,
Mm.
because
I get that.
that's all I do is I watch shows when I'm in bed. I've already finished. I think I told you finished House, the
Mhm.
full whole series. I just finished The Good Doctor.
Mhm.
So now I'm waiting for the next one to watch, and I don't know what to watch. I've watched
Paradise.
That's right. See, there you go. I'm gonna watch the first one and then go to the next one. So yeah, I'll start from the beginning.
Paradise.
I'll
Oh,
binge
you gotta
that.
start from the first season, you mean? Like
I'm gonna start from the beginning. Yeah, only because I think there's only 10 episodes for the first season,
something
10 or
like that.
12.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
but I think they're an hour long,
I
so
think it's
it'll
less than
take
that.
some
It
time.
might be like 8, something like that.
Yeah,
But it's not a lot. It's not a lot.
it's
Yeah,
it's
man.
decent. So, but yeah, that's what I did. Just napping is very underrated. So take your naps if you can.
That's a fact because I could use one right now. I can't lie to you, but boy. And so for me, yeah, productive, much like I was saying, productive minus the sleep, unfortunately. So we did one pod today. We had an emergency pod.
The red button was pushed
And,
to the studio. Stat.
yeah. We had a wild conversation on Instagram, and with Devin, and Devin was like, "Let's do a pod because this is getting confusing on
Yeah.
Instagram." So, well, that's why we ended up leaving your live a little early to go and do the pod real quick, and then get ready for this one too.
Wow,
So
cool.
yeah, productive in that. And then between the two, I filmed my short and edited it, and I just posted it just a second ago. Trying to be
Wonderful.
consistent with that every day, if I can, as for as long as I can. So I didn't want to miss a day, which I almost did. So yeah, that way, content wise, I've been creating. Not to mention making some beats as well today. So which I'll get back to after this because I'm on a double shift.
I will say that
Yeah.
the algorithm is kicking because I'm getting everything that you're posting quick,
Oh, good.
both on Instagram and TikTok. I just
Good.
boom, right, and Sibs too.
Yeah.
I see it, boom. I'm got okay. I like, I retweet or share it, and then I'm
Repost.
good because and then I keep on bugging it because I was bugging
Oh yeah,
Sibs
I gotta
about one of the beats he has. I said, "Yo, you need to send me that ASAP because I'm going live and need that as background music." And like then I said, "Slang, give me the whole library, please, because it's nice." And I was playing the tunes, and I kid you not, everybody was like saying, "Yo, the tunes is what's kicking right now." I'm like, I'm not. I was just doing one of my productive streams, so I was editing my video and I wasn't talking, just the
Mhm.
music in the background and just me working away. They saw a small screen of myself and what I was doing, but everybody kept on saying they're staying because the music was just so chill. And I'm like, yeah, man, you guys are putting out music that's just chill.
You gave me an idea. I might do that. I might do a TikTok just making beats tonight. Maybe we'll see. See how I feel
It's a
after
vibe.
this.
It's a vibe. Again, people want to see the behind the scenes, draw the curtain back and see how things are being done. Because a lot of people like myself don't know how to do all that. So just like, I mean, we were just talking about the thing I just showed, the 3D printer, right? I'm like, some people don't know that. So if you go through the process and see that, they'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, cool.
Very
Just
valid.
like,
Very
and
valid.
same with, I mean, if Donnie was, I don't know if you've done a cooking stream before, but if you did that, a lot of people can't cook. So
Yeah. Have you done that?
I think you should.
Not yet. The only thing I did was I would record it and edit it, cut it up, but to do it live, no, I should.
Yeah,
I
that's a
did.
good
Thought
idea.
about it a few times.
Yeah, I did one with my daughter once. We were cooking and we were actually baking a cake and it went quite, and it was entertaining. A lot of people tuned in, not just because of myself, but again, the baking and my daughter. So it was like it was a fun thing. So yeah, I think you should try it out, especially
Yeah,
with your
that's a
skill
good
set.
idea.
It's
That's a
a
good
just
idea.
it's a very very cool idea for sure, for
Look
sure.
at Toks just handing out ideas like candy.
How I
Mhm.
do? Everybody eats. Everybody eats.
Word.
Mm.
All right. So yeah. Well, Slang, I think you should
I
take
don't even
the
remember what we
lead.
were talking about here today. I was just about to say that.
Our
That's
aging bodies. Yeah, that's what we're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, the basic theme for tonight is life at 40, what they call the midlife, or around the midlife, life in your 40s. I'm not going to call it a crisis because it's a blessing to make it this far. Many people didn't make it this far. And I plan to make it much further.
Facts.
And that's like a fact. Like, and it's not like I grew up in a bad area or anything like that. But I don't know
Mhm.
about you guys, but I didn't think like at in my teens or 20s. I thought 40 was so far away. Like, was I gonna make it? I didn't know if I was being 40, being 45, being 50 was like, whoa, that seems so
Mm,
far away. It wasn't tangible, it wasn't a realistic thing to do. So to be here and not be ailing or not be, I
sick,
guess, yeah, not sick. I guess I am losing some
struggling.
memory and all that, but don't have Alzheimer's or nothing like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I can still move around pretty
I do.
well.
Joking.
Yeah, I have sometimes,
Sometimes not all
not all
the
time.
I
time.
love it. I love
Oh,
it.
we're canceled. Sorry, we're canceled. We're done, folks. It's been a good run. 2 months. Thanks for
That,
watching.
but he shot that out fast. Like I
Oh,
was
you guys never heard that one before?
confused. No,
Sometimers?
No.
I've
Oh yeah,
never heard that.
my
I'm like,
mom always
what?
says that.
heard it from you.
My mom
Yep,
always
that's a
says
first. Sometimers? Wow. And the thing is, it's factual too, because I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Mm,
Sometimes I just forget,
That
and there's
short-term memory is really lost sometimes. Long-term memory, not so bad for certain things because we just discussed some people I don't remember some people that I worked with, but if you made an impact, I usually remember you. Usually, am I
mm,
not? I'm not good with names, but faces, yes.
mhm.
Yeah.
I
So
understand that.
Same.
Do you, do you have things that help you remember, like say if a picture, video, uh, like an award or any type of like documents that help you remember the past? Because I was going through my pictures and I saw a picture of myself. See what I'm going for? I had a brown jacket, brown hat, glasses, and I was smiling at the camera. Slang, do you know I you wore that outfit in your music video?
the same outfit you're just
The
describing.
same describe the same video that I
Okay.
was in. I was
Oh,
wearing
that's what
that
the.
specific.
But that's not where the picture was from.
No, that's the thing.
Okay.
Like it triggered
Okay.
that memory. So I was
All right.
going through my book. I'm like, I was showing pictures to somebody. I'm like, here's some old pictures of myself, and I saw that picture. I'm like, man, I know exactly what I was doing wearing this outfit.
Mhm, mhm,
And I'm like, man, again. That's when I met Jerome and hanging with Sean and all
mhm.
Mamoon was doing the whole video, and it was just a vibe, man. It took me back because
Yeah.
even what's her face was in that video. Jasmine too. I remember all these people, all these names.
Oh yeah, she was in that video.
Yes, she was
I was
again.
trying to remember. I knew there was another woman in the video, but I couldn't. I remember Marsha was in the video, my friend
Yeah.
Kim, but I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't
Mm-hmm.
remember. It was
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine,
Yep.
and there's
That was
another
just.
Natalie. I think was in that. Nadia, something like that. Anyway,
I think it was
yeah,
Nettie, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was again, it was one of those things. It's one of those, what do they call those big time moments that you can't forget,
Mm,
that always forget, that just always shows up or pump comes up, no matter, you can never forget it. Those are the things I can never forget. So when
yeah,
I saw that, I'm like, man, I remember my role. I remember everything I was doing. I remember that it was just good time. That's what I'm like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man.
Pictures tend to do that for me,
The
and I
good
can go
old
back
days.
and reminisce. I
Yeah,
like
I mean,
reminiscing.
pictures do definitely conjure memories. Um, usually I would remember the situation without the picture, but there are times where a picture is like, yeah, like they say, worth 1,000 words and a million memories, probably. So yeah, definitely,
Mhm, mhm,
definitely,
mhm,
definitely,
mhm.
definitely. What about you, Latanya? How's your memory these days?
You know, I have very strong selective memory.
That's a good way.
So,
Selective memory.
A very
yeah,
good way to put it.
yeah.
Very
So
strong.
I can remember, sometimes I'll forget things 2 days ago, but as you said, Tokes, I remember a picture that my mom has, and I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I remember when I see that picture, I remember exactly how it was at that time. Isn't that weird?
I'm
Yeah,
telling you, like,
no, it does. It makes
not
sense.
really. Like some of the things that just like
I,
there's like those staple moments in your life that you will never
People,
forget.
I'll never forget. So there's this picture of when we were in Jamaica, and my mom was in the kitchen, and it's a picture of me just in the middle of the kitchen. She's washing the dishes, and it's just me in the kitchen beside her. But I remember in that at that time, I was crying because I just wanted her to pick me up. Like I was
Mm,
very attached to my mom, and
mm,
I just wanted her to pick me up, but she was washing the dishes, and somebody just took a picture in that moment, and she has that. So when I see that picture, I
Mhm.
remember myself crying at
wow.
that
And
time.
yeah, in fact, you can go back and find, and tap into that emotion that far back. Kudos to you.
How old were you?
She said about
I
three
was
or
like
four,
probably like
Yeah.
4 or 5 years old.
4 or 5.
That's crazy because I'm always like, I always questioned you how people remember that far back. What would you say is your earliest memory? That being one of them?
That's definitely one of them. And like I said, like even with that, it's that around that time it's selective. So I don't remember. Like if you were to ask me if I remember anything else at 4 and 5 at that time,
Hmm.
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably
probably
not.
not. Like my mom, she used to be a model, and she because she had a girl, she loved, like she was excited having a girl. She would dress me up the way that like a little doll, like I was a little
Mm,
doll.
Mhm.
And so whenever we would go to certain places, I'm like wearing the frilly dress and stuff. And I remember her always telling me to pose, like, put your hand here and look that way. And, she'd
Mm,
always, and there's a picture that we have together on a hill. And I remember her telling me how to pose at that particular time.
mm. What
Yeah.
about you, Tokes? What do you say is your earliest memory?
Earliest memory, I would say around, yeah, around 6 or 7. Uh, I was at a daycare, and the daycare was on Jane Street. It was called Happy Day Daycare,
Happy day.
and yeah, Happy Day Daycare. And I know that. Well, I remember because it was a staple. What I mean, like I said, staple moments, staple people, staple situations. I can remember. I
Hmm.
remember it was was it my birthday? Yes, it was my birthday. And again, with Africans, they do birthdays big. So back in the day, my parents would buy that big Zellers or Woolco white vanilla cake. And I think, and it would have your name on it, and they would bring it. Yes, Woolco. And they bring it to the whole daycare, and they have a big deal. So again, they did that, and then after that, we would be in like in our African attire, and we took pictures in front of the sign just so we knew, myself and my brother at the time, we were at that daycare. So I remember that day, and specifically what we were wearing, what we were posing for, and what the occasion for. So that's my earliest.
Mm, that's
Yeah.
dope.
How
Hmm.
about you, Slang?
Yeah.
My earliest is going to be a funny story, right? My earliest, at least I think I remember it, because that's why I question these sometimes. Sometimes I wonder if I remember or if I've heard the story so many times growing up that I created the memory, which either
Hmm.
one can be true, right?
Hmm.
But it's
Hmm.
about, I want to say 2 or 3, somewhere in there. And like summer times, my parents would ship us out somewhere for a month or so. We'd either go to some aunts or uncles somewhere.
Hmm.
So this time we went to my aunts, and my cousins were there, lived there too. But Seven Capri, they used to live in Seven Capri, which is just like Tobacco off of the West Mall. This I still remember
Okay.
because the building is still there,
Hmm.
and they
Hmm.
had a pool outside. And my sister and my cousin, both older than me, were going outside to play, going to the pool. Uh, But of course, they had to take me, which they didn't want to take me, but they had to take me. And I was still in Pampers. And I remember them putting me in the pool and me floating because I had on Pampers. I totally remember that.
That is magical.
Yeah.
Wow.
And because you're not scared as much as a baby, so you don't do
That's
the whole
true. You don't
panic
know
thing.
fear. You don't know fear
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
So I'm just floating. Pa- Pampers on my
Wow.
floaty.
That is
Yeah,
wonderful.
What a
yeah,
Wow.
thing.
that's one of my earliest memories anyway. Yeah, man.
That
Pamper
is
slang.
that is hilarious.
But yeah.
Thing.
Okay, so let's get into it then, right?
Mhm, mhm. All
So
right.
I
So,
think the first question we're gonna ask, which you kind of talked about a little bit in our "What do we do to make ourselves better today?"
mhm, mhm.
Soft life or survival mode? The luxury of rest in the midlife. So we grew up, a lot of us grew up at our generation watching our parents grind, 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 not sleeping, not getting proper rest because they're trying to make a better life for us and themselves. They're, kind of new to a country. Or they probably by that time, my parents were probably here for about 20 years, which is not that long in the grand scheme of things.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, grind, 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 go from one job to the next, to the next, to the next type thing, and not really resting like we are now. And the newer generation is doing even probably more than us. So how important is rest to you? And are we finally in our 40s? Are we choosing peace over proving? Meaning that are we choosing to take our rest periods, or are we still in a mode of we got to prove how much we could get done and how much we can attain and so forth and so on.
Anybody can go?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, in my household, rest wasn't taught, but resilience was.
That's a good way to put it.
Do
That's a
you
good.
I
remember
was gonna
time
say,
the time where like well maybe not, you guys never had to deal with it, but I remember when you're trying to chill in bed, sleep, but then at some point the door would bust open, the lights would flip on. Okay, 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 all right, all right, all right. So they walk around
Hell
and
yes.
fling it back.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
Oh my god.
You would have
Trauma.
to get up and help the
PTSD.
clean.
I didn't even get the claps. It was just slam open the door, and then they just yelled the full name, Then you know it's time to go.
Yep.
All right, you know what you need to do. I was responsible for laundry and vacuuming. So
Now when they walked out of the room, did you do the when you're in your bed,
yeah,
but you can't do it too loud because you don't
no,
want
because
anyone.
the minute they see or hear it, what do you say?
Nothing. I'm coming.
Coming.
I did the I have a story actually. I remember one time I did the pump fake. Like she would come and do all that whole thing, curtains, light on, and I all right, I'm gonna get up now. And then as soon as she leaves,
You pull the covers back on. You got away with it.
covers right back
Wow.
on.
And you got away with it.
Wow.
No.
Oh, of
Because
course.
if I took too long to come out the bedroom, she would come back in the bedroom, and this time it would be something added, like
Of
it would
course.
be pull the sheets off,
Sorry, still listening. Just give me a second. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
and when she's walking out, leave the door open,
Oh.
and you'd get the threat of "Don't let me have to tell you again."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
1000%.
that's what I would get.
You get the setup. That's all you're getting the setup just in case.
Hmm.
Like, all right. Funny though, when we were growing up, I guess the rooms at the time when I understood all these chores and whatnot. So my mom and dad's room were at the end of the hall, and then we had two rooms side by side, one for two of my brothers, the other one for myself and my other brother. So they heard anything and everything we did. So you really couldn't, get away with just. And again, it was just 5 steps away. So if you didn't get up at a good amount of time, you just heard her, and then that's it. Like, all right, you don't get a second chance. You're either getting up or you're getting beat. So learn the hard way.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
I will say that it made me a better athlete, avoiding beatings from my family. So I was dodging and flipping, and yep, my reflexes were on point. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
on point.
Yeah, she, because she would get up earlier than me, things were ready for me. Like for example, if I had to clean the bathroom,
Mm,
she would have a bucket, the bucket and the sponge or whatever it is
mhm,
that
mhm,
it's there, it's ready
mhm,
for me.
mhm.
So I don't even have to deal with that. So at least I guess that was the nice part of having to wake up to help her clean. She at least filled the bucket up for me
Oh,
to
she
show
set you
even
up for it.
more. This
She
is your
set you up for it.
yeah, this is
That's
your job.
that's love.
But here's the thing: when it came to cleaning, though, your parents would clean a certain way, and they use certain products, right? So back in the day, you had the Ajax or the Comment or whatever.
Amit.
It had the bleach and whatever. And for the longest time, my parents would tell us to use bleach in the bathtub to help wash things. I wash that thing so much with bleach, I cannot do it anymore. The eyes,
Mm.
I can't. So anytime in my early 20s on, I never went by bleach ever because it was trigger. It was almost like PTSD. Like if I smelled bleach, my eyes would water right away. And my parents knew that, so they said never wash the bathtub again. Don't use that don't use bleach anymore. So
Hmm.
I got out of washing the bathtub. That's why I said vacuuming was one of my things, and laundry was another. So I couldn't wash the bathtub anymore. It was just too much. Too
Wow.
much.
You know what she would do too? I don't know if your parents ever did this. I think this is how I got into music because my mom's a music person,
Mm,
and I've had music played from when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
mm.
Me too.
And yeah, so when she would clean, she would play music,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the certain songs stuck in my head. That's how I know slang. That's how I know some of those old time Jamaican songs because my mom,
Absolutely. Yep.
Mhm.
she would
Yep.
play those songs, and we would have to clean up the house, and
Yep.
and just that was the routine on the weekend.
Now
Yep.
she was playing the tunes.
Oh yeah,
Oh, my mom was singing the tunes, and it was all old 80 tunes. Like, I mean, she's a great singer in her own right, but it was just she was singing songs in her way. But I knew, and they stuck in my head. So every time I hear those songs, I'm just like, oh, that's my mom's song. As I always say, it's my mom's song when I hear it. So I'm like, oh, that triggers a good memory in terms of her because she would sing it when she would be in the kitchen doing whatever when we're setting up for whatever type of thing we're doing. But when she was in that mom mode, and cleaning it, yeah, she would be singing some of these 80s tracks.
Yeah.
Phil
That's
Collins, for the one that hits the most is Forever Young by Rod Stewart. She sings
oh
that.
yeah. Yeah.
So she sang that most of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
She hit.
That was a part of cleaning. Which is why I kind of clean with music to this day.
Mm,
Is
mm,
that yeah, and I definitely now as you guys said that that's part of like that's the memory. Like before my parents started doing the church thing, it was Sunday
mhm.
mornings,
mm.
music, clean. That was the weekly routine pretty much.
So yours was Sunday.
Yeah. Before once they started going to church
Hmm.
regular, then it
Hmm.
changed to like Saturday. But
Mine was
originally it was Sunday.
mine was Saturday cleaning. Because Sunday was the day of rest, whether we went to church or anything. Because back in the day, we would watch uh, Chin TV and the East Indian movies. Those were
What?
what we. Oh
What?
yeah,
What?
Yeah, no, I know
I
what you're
don't
talking.
remember that. I don't
East
remember that.
Yeah,
Channel 4, bro.
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
Uh,
Chin TV. I remember it, but I don't
yep,
remember the East Indian
yep.
movies.
East Indian
So
movies were
it wouldn't
there.
be a every weekend thing, but I know what you're talking about, Toks, because I
Mm,
remember so often that would be on the TV.
yep. That's
Yeah.
Interesting.
when I learned about East Indian movies, and then we went and started buying them. So if you ever hear me saying Badman Prime, go look up Badman Prime, and you'll see that guy is the greatest Indian villain of all time. Every movie he ever did, he was a bad guy. And my dad would solidify that. Every movie that we watched, he was a bad man.
It
I'm like,
was him.
wow. And you didn't realize that East Indian people knew kung fu or karate. That's all they did was fight kung fu. I'm like, what? These
Still
guys
do.
can fight.
Still
And
do.
it was corny, but it was funny. Like one of my favorite movies is an East Indian movie that is just the concept was great. If I could find it and it had subtitles, I would send you the link on YouTube. But it's a pretty interesting movie. But there's a lot of reminiscing, a lot of memories that come back from watching any of these movies. And again, they sing. Almost every Indian movie has a musical part in it. So my dad would know all the songs, and we'll be singing together and whatnot. So that was our Sundays. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what too? I don't know about you, but I think Slang and I probably have this in common because we both have the same background. But
Mhm.
Mhm.
on Saturday and Sunday, it was the main cooking. It was like either rice and peas. Like it was
Oh
very.
yeah, Sunday especially for me.
Yeah,
Mm.
That
soup
was part of
or
it.
on one of the days, rice and peas and chicken and
Yeah,
carrot juice.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
my
Really?
and my job was to grate the carrot. Like I would have to grate it,
Mm.
carrot
I
or
would,
the
yeah, I didn't have to because my sister, so I didn't.
Mm.
It was sexist sometimes. I didn't have to do
I,
yeah.
we had no girls, so I was the one that was doing cooking duty. So I was slicing the okras for my mom.
Oh,
Mm.
Always,
okay.
always. Like I know the actual the way to do it by hand with a knife. Trust me, it is a
Perfect.
process. But again, with with my mom, she was just an amazing cook, so she just did everything just quick, 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 quick. Meanwhile, I'm here
Yep.
slicing, slicing. I'm like,
I don't
well,
know. It's amazing how that is though. My mom
Did
is
you
mm,
same
did
way.
you have did you have Toks the set days for certain foods, or was it just whatever on the weekend?
again, when it came to my house and food, it was really, really cultural based. It was either you had the pounded yam or whatever, fufu or whatever, and then you had the stew. It was either rice and stew. So it was again, my parents were old school. The only I think it was the early '90s when my mom started actually giving us North American type of food, shepherd's pie
Mm.
and spaghetti. It was really just rice. 95% of the time was
Mm.
rice and stew. So I mean, we
Well,
ate what was provided, and I wasn't complaining. I mean, yes, you'll be there, and you're like, you don't want to eat the fufu, so you're like on the table with your hands in your face, you're like, and you said you can't leave until you finish. Okay, and then you're just falling asleep. I'm like,
we were talking about that the other day.
you're
We're
done.
totally off topic, but that's okay. We were talking about that the other day,
Nostalgia.
where, about the when you don't eat your meal, because
Oh yeah.
my grandmother was my grandmother's the best, and not she's the best and the worst at the same time. But she used to be a stickler. If you don't eat it today, you're eating it
Done.
later today. And if you don't
Yep.
Mm,
eat it later today, you're eating it tomorrow.
yep.
And if you don't eat it tomorrow, you're eating it the next day. But you're eating it. So
Yep.
if our parents weren't around, we're eating that meal, taking 2 spoonfuls per
And then it's
meal
gone.
a day
Mhm.
until it's done.
Well,
Because
remember I
that's
told you guys about the cereal?
Mm.
If I don't finish it in the morning, I'm eating that
for dinner.
dish after school.
This is where how I learned to finish off everything on my plate. That
It's
was
kind
the
of true though. That's kind of true.
that's like even in restaurants now, I finish everything on my plate just because it's just been ingrained that you don't leave
That's me too.
anything
I,
out
don't-
there.
I
Like,
can't waste food. Come on.
no, I couldn't. And people were like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you were hungry? No, it's not. But I was hungry. It's just I know that I have to finish my food, and that's it.
Okay, reining it back in.
Mm,
Considering, as Latanya started with, the idea that we weren't taught rest, we were taught resilience.
mm.
Is that, do you think that affected you or impacted you with a negative view of rest or a positive view of rest? Did you take what your parents were doing as a good thing and you followed suit? Or did you take it as, I'm not gonna, when I grow up, I'm sleeping? Like, well,
Uh,
how do you think that went?
I emulated my dad. So my dad was driving cab for a very long time. So he'd be up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and he'd be gone until probably like 6 o'clock, and he'd be just go 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 go. So I again, he was the hero, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna be that guy. So I'm gonna keep on going, 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 and I continue. Honestly, rest was for the weak for me in my world. So
Mm,
if you're resting, then you're lazy. So there's
mm,
always something for you to do, and if whether it's schoolwork, chores, whatever, there is always something for you to do. So if you're not doing something, you would get in trouble for it, right? Because we didn't have time to sit down and watch per se TV unless it was like a family thing. We didn't have video games until I think my aunt got a Nintendo or so. No, we did have an Atari, but again, Atari, right? So we didn't have any real time to kind of do things unless you're going outside. Again, if it's a nice day on Saturday and they know that everything's done, you can go outside and go play for a bit. But yeah, everything was go go go. You had to do something at all
mm,
times. So
valid.
that's what I kind of grew up with.
What about you, El?
I think I was not think I know that I rest more now than before because it was like I would hear her, all the time. And if I never did it, I would get in trouble. So it was just something that I was like, okay, when never said obviously like specifically when I get older, but I
Mhm.
find myself now resting more. Like I told you earlier, I take naps.
Right.
Um and not to say that I never did that back then, because when I would finish cleaning up and doing what I had to do, my mom would, she'd let me watch TV and I could rest, but I still had that as growing as an adult. But when I call my mom to check up on her now, every time I call her, okay, mom, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just cleaning. I'm just picking up some papers here and sorting out that. Like she's
Always
still the
doing
same
something.
way.
Mm,
Yeah.
Can't,
yeah.
So there's a
just
difference
can't
with
take
that.
it away.
In
Can't
a
take it
ways,
away
like
from you.
sometimes that keeps them alive too. That's
Yeah,
their it
I
keeps
was
them
gonna say so
close.
that goes along with a lot of people in life in general. So somebody was doing the same job for 40 years, and all of a sudden they stop. Their life just says your body's
Yeah.
like, "Yo, we're not doing it, so we're gonna shut down." So that's the scary thing because I was in corrections for years, and there was people who had worked there for 25, 30 years. The minute they're out in 6 months, they're sick or they've
Mm.
passed away because their body's like, "Well, the stress is no longer there. What are we working for? Let's just take it easy." And
There is another part of that sometimes though, is that they do now have time for their bad habits. So they got
true,
time to smoke more cigarettes. They got time to drink more wine. They got
true, eat
time
more food.
to eat more bad food and stuff. Whereas the
That's true.
work was their exercise type thing, was
Mm,
their activity.
it
But
makes sense.
there is a mental quotient. Like it's just like, when a couple's been married for ever and one
Mhm.
dies and then the other one dies like a couple weeks later
Yeah, yeah,
and they say they
yeah.
die of a broken heart or loneliness
Right.
because it does. I do believe that's possible.
Yeah, no, I believe
uh
that. I believe that too.
yeah. But for me, I'm going to tell you guys again, I was the rebellious one. I I wish, like, looking back on life, I wish I picked up that no sleep, go, go, go from my parents a little bit
Mhm.
more than I did. But it taught me the opposite. It literally, for me, it taught me because I felt like, and my nephew and I have these conversations where we wish we weren't that smart. Because when I look at my parents, I kind of look at it like, you guys worked that so hard and didn't get what you worked for. Like, you didn't,
Mm,
the amount of work you put in was not
right, eh?
the reward did not match the work.
Mm,
You overworked yourself, and the companies are gone on, they've moved on, and they're doing just fine while you guys are still struggling, not struggling, but still,
yeah, yeah.
they're not
Staying
rich.
afloat,
The amount of
right,
work that they did, they should have been rich. So that affected the way that I looked at work in general, especially working for companies or working for other people. For
right.
If you're working for yourself, have at it. But working for companies, nah, bro. I remember my mentality for a long time was never show the company your full potential because then they come to expect it. So
Mm,
if you have to, you're gonna have you show them 10, you have to come in on 10 every day. And that was my theory the whole time. So no, I definitely did not pick that up. I'm definitely more of a worker now than I was when I was younger, which again, in hindsight, I wish it was the opposite. I do to a degree. I wish it was opposite because you have more energy when you're younger, right?
do you think it would change you if you were the opposite?
In what?
If you were the
Uh,
go, go, go back then,
the only way that I and probably the only way that I wish that it was is financially,
okay.
which is also not necessarily guaranteed because then there's the would I have saved the money that I
Right.
was working and
Mhm,
all that
mhm.
jazz. So there's a give and take there, but that's the only way that I think I would have been better off is
Gotcha.
financially if I was the 4 or 5 job man type thing.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
And God bless my parents, I never had to be the 4 or 5 job man because I was okay. Like
Yeah.
we were never really. I mean, I can't say we were never
I, I
struggling,
was I was gonna say they
but
didn't show it though. They might
it
have been
didn't
struggling.
show
They never
exactly.
show it, and
Didn't
that's what I
show
was
that.
going back. Remember when we had talking about where you don't want to show that you guys are having
Yeah,
issues, whatever.
yeah,
That's what they did. They protected us from
yeah.
seeing the flaws, but there probably were flaws that you would
Oh,
never
absolutely.
understand. Yeah,
And also to that point, in some ways, I wish they did tell us. I wish
so
I
you
did
could
know.
understand a bit better now.
Right.
It's like,
And
oh
I would
yeah,
certain things I'm not expecting. Yeah,
I
right, you know what I
totally
mean?
agree there. I would have
That's too much
avoid
stress on me.
honestly. I think the biggest uh, headache that I experienced was student loans.
Mhm.
if there was a way to save for that or prepare for that instead of taking student loans, my life would have been
Yes, that's
totally
a good
different.
example. Very good
Yeah,
example.
because everything back in the day, they said, just go get OSAP, go get OSAP. It's free money. They didn't realize they didn't tell you back in the day you had to pay it back. They're
Mhm.
paying for school, but it's, "Hey, you could apply for this student loans," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, no problem." So then you're like, "Oh, I'm going to school and everything's paid for. I'm getting all this money, whatever." And then,
Mhm.
uh, then all of a
That's
sudden it's like it's time to get it back.
yeah,
What? And
very
then
good
all of a
example.
sudden, yeah, then you got people calling you, or you have to make these payments, and you're like, "I don't have the job yet." And I'm like, "Oh, well, sorry, you're not going to school here, so you better start paying." Sure enough, that affects credit and all that stuff, and then your life is now you're adulting. Once you're out of school and you have to start paying that back, that's adulting. Forget
Yet
car payments, it's student loans.
yet another thing that I looked at and was like, yeah, this is a lie. Like, go to
Mm,
school, get a great job when you come out. That's like
yeah,
5%. Most people just go to school,
not
come out,
not even.
they get the same job that they would have got if they didn't go to school.
Yep, yep.
Sad but true. I'm not.
It's
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm definitely not saying don't work hard. All those things have their place and their merit. I'm
mhm,
just I'm very firmly in the belief of work smarter, not harder. That's my philosophy of life.
exactly. Find like
Sometimes
make a
smart work
business.
is hard work, but yeah,
Yeah, I get the gist.
yeah.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. I think
Oh, sorry.
if
Go
we were
ahead.
taught business or any type of side hustle early, we would be all of us would be in different worlds right now. I'm thinking about it. If you were taught your music early, you would be somewhere else right now. If Tanya
Totally.
was doing the cooking early, you know, you would be somewhere else right now. And me, maybe personal training or whatever, something on the side hustle, I'd be somewhere else right now. So again, if only, if only.
If we were taught to follow our dreams
Mm,
with the same hard work that we were taught to follow their dreams, it would be a different story.
mm,
If
fire.
they wanted us to be doctors and lawyers and all of these things, which again, they didn't know any better. It's not so much their fault. But if being a rapper was as supported as me being a lawyer, which I didn't want to be, like I
Mhm.
only was doing it because that's what my parents said I should do,
Right.
I'd probably be in a much better place.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
But then who knows? I could have just been lazy. Who knows?
Also, I don't think your parents would have let you be lazy. That's the thing.
That's
I don't
that
think.
that's true.
Again, back in the day, parents. These parents nowadays might be a bit
Different.
different, but the parents back in the days, 70s, 80s, and 90s, yeah, you're not getting caught just doing nothing. You'll be just
They're not trying to
punching in
be
the
your
air.
friends. They're trying to be
Yes,
your parents. So
they
speaking
actually
of
are.
friends,
Mm,
also at 40,
segue, man.
friendships at 40. So who came with you and who didn't? Like by now, the circle has either shrunk or it's revealed its true shape. Outgrowing friends without villainizing them, maintaining long friendships while evolving and changing can be difficult. So, how do you guys find it? Like, do you have, for example, the same friends you had 20, 30 years ago? Does your friend group look totally different? Are some of those good friends that were around when you were 20 years old, 30 years old now, you barely talk to them, or you see them and say hi when you do see them, but you don't talk to them on the phone, anything like that? How has your friendships changed over the years?
I know for me, I still have some of them. I've had have a couple of friends that I'm still friends with since elementary school,
Wow.
but
Wow.
that's not, yeah, but it's not a lot. It's like maybe two or three.
Hmm.
Um, but as we age and we get older, it's just, I guess, emotional maturity. Not everybody's gonna go down the same path, and I remember talking about this on, I think it was my live or Toks's, um, the topics was that was on this show. Um, but it's just you kind of you kind of filter it out as time goes by. Um, and sometimes closure is just quiet. You know, you
Mm,
kind of, for whatever reason, maybe there is that reason that you're not friends with this person, or you kind of, especially after high school, you know, people split up and go their own separate ways, and it's just there's no explanation. It's just a silent exit, and
mhm,
that's what it is.
mhm. Well, Tokes.
Funny with me, it's a bit different because I left a province, right? So,
True, true.
however, and I'm pulling this up now because I want to show you, friendship is as strong as you make it. Uh, because here is a picture of everybody in the back. There's myself and all these people here. I went to. You can see Rasul is in the back there. That's
Hmm.
when you had a conversation with. I've known him since I
Okay.
was 5 years old. Everybody else here I went to middle school or high school with, right? The couple in the front, I've met him through football, and that was
Mm,
his late wife. So again, we have had other what you call it, the groups, like the WhatsApp groups.
mhm,
We try to do things to keep us connected because we love each other as best as we can. So if I do know I'm coming there, I'll let them know, and we would either get together and have a dinner, have a game night, whatever, and then go off. Now, do we talk every day? No, but again, when you do show up or do something fun, it's like you never left. So I definitely cherish those friendships as much as they are not as frequent. Again, they're still there, and they're always going to be there. I
mm,
can, like I said, we had a conversation with, again, one of my oldest friends. So he was dropping names and dropping people. I'm like, yeah, I don't talk to them, but I'll remember them. If I see
mhm.
them on the street, they're not going to just walk by me. They're going to know who I am, and I'm going to know who they are, and then we're going to reminisce. We are in a different world right now where we're living different lives, but again, that moment that we were in that world together, it's still there. But yeah, yeah. How about
Uh,
yourself?
for me, so yeah, I'm like I think Latanya is right. I think we talked about this either on her live or here once before, but uh, I have my core friendship group is made up of mostly high school friends, people who I've known 30, 40 years now. Um, One out of those what I would consider my core is kind of no longer around, but you know that again, like Tanya said, it was kind of in a silent way. We're just it's funny. I don't even think it's that we're different people, but we're more the people that we are, if that makes sense. Like we were all there's growing up, there was always a personality that was there's always a personality there of
Stand out.
each person in the group, right?
Mm,
Like everybody, yes, we changed some, but everybody is kind of more of who they were,
mm,
if that makes sense. So if the guy was quiet, he's probably a little more quiet than he was then. If somebody was judgmental then, they're more judgmental now. If somebody was more cheap, they're cheaper.
mm,
Those type of personalities. So I think as we grew, us becoming more of who we are and being more and knowing who we are, it to her point as well, we separate almost in a natural way where you're not tolerating as much, you're not accepting foolishness as much from somebody who was your boy back in high school, because in high school you're very cliquish, right?
right.
You're
Yeah.
because you're
Oh, for
kids,
sure.
you roll
Kind of
with
like,
and
yeah,
you
like
roll with them
alignment
forever.
shifting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
very rare that you switch cliques, very rare. So but I'm blessed to have most of those people still around me. Yeah, we don't talk as much as we used to because we're not going to each other's house playing Nintendo 64 and Genesis and these things. Or we're not, we're not
Mhm.
going to parties as much as we used to, that type of thing. But concert comes up, link in the man them and the gal. If we're at birthdays, we get together. And even recently, I reconnected with some of my middle school friends, so the people that I was my clique before I moved to Brampton. And we try to get together once a month. Even that's kind of fallen off a little bit, but that stuff is expected to be because people we have lives. That's one thing about me. As I've grown older, the thing that I think has changed for me, which doesn't change for everybody, is I understand that everybody has their own life, their own time. They got to do what they got to do. I don't know what's going on. Like, even if I do know what's going on in your life, you have your own responsibilities, your own goals, your own. Sure, I know they say everybody makes time for things that they want to make time for, and I agree with that, but sometimes that doesn't include me, and I'm
Yeah.
fine with. I don't expect you to carve out your day for me. I expect you to make time when you feel like making time, and nor do I want you to force yourself to do something just because we're friends. I do understand in the idea of friendship, there should be some obligation to do so, but the whole we talked about this one time, Tanya. The whole oh, it's my birthday. Come out for my birthday. And you say you give me a reason why you can't come, and I'm on you like, come on, yeah, but it's my birthday. Yeah, come on, it's
Mhm.
my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
You can't make it, you can't make it. That's
Mhm.
just you'll
Mhm.
maybe next year, or maybe
Listen,
Christmas dinner or whatever.
I had someone not talk to me for a year
Wow.
because of this whole birthday thing.
Nah, Doug.
And I'm
Serious?
like, yeah, there's people that are really sensitive about their birthdays.
No, that's a fact.
And
Yeah.
That's a fact.
and and because I'm the opposite way, because I'm not like that. Like there's days where I don't even listen. My dad one time forgot my birthday, and it wasn't even to me. I took it as okay. Yeah, he's getting old. Like it's gonna happen. I forget birthdays,
Mhm.
and then give him a blight, and then it was fine.
Mhm.
But certain people, whoo, it won't fly.
That's when they
Shoot,
And
turn
you're
up. That's why.
saying your dad forgot your birthday one year. My dad doesn't remember my birthday. He might he might
well,
remember
it's
it
happened a
one
couple
year.
times,
Yeah,
but yeah,
he might remember it one year, not forget it one year. So whatever. I don't think I've ever been that guy when it comes to well, no, I don't think I've ever been that guy.
yeah,
I can't say I haven't been disappointed if somebody didn't show up, but I'm not angry at you. It's
yeah,
whatever, bro.
or cut them off.
Yeah,
Like
definitely not doing that.
some people are
It's too
very strict with it.
Yeah.
going back to what you said, Slang, about high school being clicky.
Mhm.
That never was a thing for me. Well, I what I mean is like it happened, but I was in every clique, and
Mm,
like I was the athlete because I was on many sports teams. I was in the band.
mm.
I was in the drama club. I was in the social committee, video yearbook.
Or you're the club youth.
I was everything. Like I was
Wow,
everything.
like the
I was
same,
everything. And
same.
and I and I got
Yeah.
and I got around and I got
I was
people
them.
to connect. I got different groups to connect because of me. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to say I was the glue, but I mean I brought people who weren't watching sports because I was on there come
Mm.
watch sports. Or I was the guy who was in sports who didn't have friends that were in the band come out and watch the band performance or the drama show that we're in or the
Mm.
fashion show that we're in. Like I was everywhere. I mean everywhere. The video yearbook. If you saw me in the video yearbook, I was in the office doing paperwork one day, doing stuff like that. I was just everywhere. So clicks didn't really click with me. I was just everyone. Everybody happened just having fun. So I enjoyed that. So I didn't really experience the jocks here, the nerds there, chess club here. Nah, I was everybody. Everybody was everybody. Maybe it
Well,
was my environment. I don't know.
from okay, well, again, growing up, well, not even growing up, spending half my formative years in Brampton.
Hmm.
Um, at that time, I wouldn't say that there wasn't that many black kids in high school,
Yeah.
so that was the clique. Like The
Fair
black
enough.
kids were the clique. But also for me, and this is something that I didn't realize during that period of time, is I was a popular kid, but I didn't consider myself a popular kid at that time. So
Mhm.
I had people tell me, "Oh, you used to never talk to me in high school," and I was like, "Yeah, but I didn't know you.
Mm.
Like I didn't.
You
I
weren't at
didn't
that. You
remember
weren't at that level.
not even it wasn't like not even that because I didn't think I was above. And if anything, I probably thought I was less than people saw me as. But
Fair
because
enough.
they saw me that way, they're thinking I didn't talk to them. And I'm thinking, but you didn't talk to me. Like we just didn't talk. It was no big deal for me. That's
Mm.
how I felt. But so yeah, I was in a few clubs too, but at the same time, I had my core friendship group
Right.
that is pretty much the same to this day.
Mm. Mm.
That
Mm.
was I stepped. I was on a basketball team. I was on student council. I did all these things. I ran for school student president and all these
Me-
vibes.
Yeah, me
But
too. Yeah.
at the same time, you know where to find me in the cafeteria. Put it that way.
You know
Dominoes.
when you stepped in, you're like,
Exactly.
you're right over there. Yep.
Yeah.
No, and
Every
that's the
man,
thing.
everybody knows who Omar is, but not everybody is friends
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Omar. That's what I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I was that guy, but again, I was hopping from one table to the other. Right. You
Yeah.
got in, get in with the nerds. You know, you had the athletes there. You had the drama crew that doing their thing. Some of the folks, again, a lot of the cliques that I knew didn't really stay in the cafeteria because they just thought they were just it was just beneath them. So you would see them on the
Mhm.
stairwell and they're just
Mm.
hanging there, or they're by the lockers sitting there doing homework or doing whatever, playing a game, whatever. Then you have the smokers that are outside. You go see the smokers and so forth. So again, everybody had their vibe, their clique, their location. I remember back
Also,
in the day.
again,
Mhm.
I hindsight, I wish I wasn't popular. I wish I wasn't that. I wish I was a nerd. I
Mm.
I might have been a nuclear physicist by now. Like, I
Yeah,
wish the nerds win. It's the nerds win. Kids, if you're watching, the nerds
I,
rule the world.
I would have to disagree. I wish I was more entertaining. I'd probably come out of there with something better than what I'm doing now, like podcasting. I mean, I was on a mic. I was a lunchtime DJ at one point, right? I did public speaking. I mean, I did acting. So I mean, if I took that and pushed even further, who knows, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I remember. I think one of the teachers told me to go try out, go audition for at the time it was the Canadian Radio National Radio College, something like that. And I
Mhm.
believe that's where Jim Carrey that's
Oh,
where he did his thing. So I was told to go try out. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like 18, ready to kind of go in to figure out what I'm going to do. And I do this audition. And they say, well, you have a great voice and everything, but you know what? We want someone who is strictly this. I was all over the place. So they didn't know where to put me. So I'm like, they won't put me in that school. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Well, I tried. So imagine if I did dedicate my time to a certain type of niche or genre, I could be on radio, I could have been on film or TV or whatever. So I wish I kind of did that.
yeah, it comes down to I think a lot of parental cultivating
Mm.
your skills and your aspirations rather than subjecting you to what they wanted to do with their lives and were not able to do and
Oh,
thinking that you needed to do it to make a life for
that
yourself.
is a
Which again,
whole nother episode.
I get it. Well, yeah, it is. Which segue, man. In terms of generational habits or generational curses that you might be breaking, I don't want to say curses because I want it to be, it might be a positive thing, something that you saw as positive, but you might still be breaking it at this point in your life, or something that you saw as negative that your parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles were doing that you no longer uphold or are doing in your present state. Is there anything like that? I mean, we kind of talked about rest and how we viewed rest. For me, I kind of broke that early on,
Okay.
or it could be a financial thing. It could be a gender thing, like you're not buying into the patriarchy the same way. Could be a, I don't know, anything. Is there what are is something that you think that you are making a point not to follow in the footsteps of your parents or the generation past?
Um, I would say for myself, like I know my mom, she would have certain things that she would want to do, and she did, but she wouldn't really go through all the way. Um, for example, in Jamaica, she was a radio broadcaster, like she would work in the radio station, and she has
Oh
a
yeah.
great
Wow.
voice.
Wow.
Yeah. And when she came here, like I knew because I would see pictures and newspaper clippings and all these little things that she brought from Jamaica. And I would tell her she should pursue it, like take a little course or whatever, because I think you would be great at it, go back doing I know that you're good at. But I don't know if it's because she's in Canada and she didn't feel as secure. Like maybe she felt, yeah, that was back then when I was a teenager. It's like, it's not like that now. And, so she ended up doing something else. Um, I know for me, I wouldn't want to, like, if I knew that I had something that I enjoyed, loved to do, knew that I could do well at it, I want to keep pushing. Like I want to find
Mm,
out how to do it. I want to go take a course to figure it out. Like I want to
mm.
do that, um, as opposed to my mom just stopping and not wanting to do it for whatever reason. So I guess I don't know how you'd want to sum that up, but
No, that's definitely something. Like you were,
yeah,
yeah. That's definitely something that you chose to do that she didn't choose to do, which is kind of following your dreams, but also living outside of the box that was created for you, so to speak.
yeah.
So definitely something. What
I
about you?
like I like how you position that.
Yeah. Tokes, what you about you?
I think the only thing that I probably will be doing different is raising my children in a more free, non-restricted way. Back in the day, like you were saying, you want they're told you what you are going to do and how you're going to do it. It doesn't work. I'm sorry, it doesn't work because you won't get the results you want if you're telling this person that they're going to be doing this because you want them to do it. No. So I'm giving my daughter all the free time to decide what she wants. I can help her make a decision on what she wants to do, but I'm not going to tell her you need to do this because your dad wants you to do this or your mom wants to do. No, you can choose what you want, and I will help you get there. If it's a reasonable job or a career or whatever or a business, I'll definitely keep it open for them. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm going to do in terms of when it gets to that point because y- not per se you want to resent, but you're upset that you are going a path that you really didn't want to go because of who they were rather than who you were, right? So that was my gripe because I mean, like I said, because I could have done music, I could have done acting, I could have done sports. There's so many different things that were not the typical things that an African child would do. Uh, and when they were brought, we came to Canada to do this. I'm like, okay, but where am I now, right? It's telling me totally different. So I want to give my daughters the free will to do what they want to do when the time comes. I'm a guide. I help you guide you where you need to go, but I'm not going to tell you where you need to go. That's not fair. Yeah. No, you're muted there, Slang. Yeah, let me.
I know it's my
There
fault.
you go.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What if they're doing or they choose to do something that you feel is not up to their full potential?
Well, I can always uh, inf- uh, inform them. This is how I feel, and this is what I think is going to happen.
Mhm,
But again, like many, they have to, learn on their own. I don't want them to get hurt. I don't want them to
mhm,
get, I don't want them to get any type of horrible negative backlash.
mhm,
But at the same time, I'll let them choose choose what they need to choose. Because again, you never know. Like I don't know.
mhm.
My daughter might end up being a great musician. You might not see it now, but all of a sudden she's doing it. I'm like, hey, okay, right? If
Valid.
that's the case, right? And sometimes, like you and I know, is that some people don't, hit that spot until they're, 30 years old or so forth. So again, the learning process is a learning process. You get out of high school, get out, that's when you start really learning to be who you really want to be, right? So
That's a fact.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
Valid.
How about yourself?
Um, I don't consider. I think I've told you guys this before. I don't consider myself a traditional man or a traditional person. So there's a lot of things, kind of to a degree, but off the top of my head, it would be the gender role thing. Uh,
Okay.
the idea that the man is the leader at all times and the provider and the head of household and all that stuff. I don't know.
Mm,
And it's like literally in my 40s that I really come to this way of thinking.
gotcha.
Um, and I think it's funny. While I'm even saying that goes against what my parents taught or showed,
Hmm.
I also know, like I say this all the time, is my dad my mom actually run the house.
True.
My dad, but she was able to make my dad feel like he ran the house.
I remember you said that. Yeah.
And uh, uh, and I do think, there is merit in that, because I do agree that the male ego can be fragile in that way, and we've been taught, we've been raised to be the lion, hear me roar, and
Correct.
Tarzan, and all these things, right? So
So true.
I do see merit in somewhat fooling us into believing that we are the biggest lion in the jungle and stroking our ego that way. I just don't happen to have the need for that ego to be stroked that
That much.
yeah, that much. Like I have friends who they're that's their thing. I have to be the leader. What are you talking about? I have to be. And I'm not raising a child. Like she's not my kid. We're both adults. We should be both have input. It's not always, this is where I think people make the mistake. It's not always going to be equal.
Right.
There are times where she's gonna have more say, and then there's times I'm gonna have more say, and it will
Correct.
work itself out to be equal in the long run. But it can't be expected that I'm gonna just tell her what to do and
Right.
she's going to do it. That I don't even want a woman like that. That doesn't make that I might as well get a pet. Like I want a woman who could give me input, who's just as intelligent as me, although nobody's as intelligent as me, but
Oh Lord.
at least close to as intelligent as me. Uh, but I but even saying that, I want her to have the same feeling. Like I want her to be as confident in her ability to make decisions as I am. Just like any other um, relationship, or dare I say working environment, s- some people are better at other things than others, certain things, and then vice versa. Like
Yeah.
I'm better at shoveling because I'm the man, I'm stronger. But even in saying that, what if I hurt my wrist or hurt my knee one day? She automatically becomes better at doing that task. And that's a very menial task I'm speaking of, but you can apply that to everything in life. she might be better at finance. Just because I'm the man and supposed to be the leader, I'm supposed to tell her what to do with the money? Not
Mm.
necessarily. She might be the better one at that. And it goes down the line like that. So in terms of gender roles, I don't really subscribe to that idea that the man has to be the leader and the provider. Maybe I do somewhat subscribe to the man should be the protector, and that again comes down to physique type things or physical ability type thing, but not necessarily uh, necessarily a gender role. Because again, if she was military trained, you know what I'm
She'd kick
saying?
anybody's butt.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Who am I to tell her I'm
It's true.
protecting her? Like that doesn't
Yep.
make sense, right? She's
That is true.
protecting us, really. Well, it just so happens that's not the case currently, or I've never been in that situation. So I naturally have the instinct to protect, and that's not only in my romantic relationships. That's even in my family relationships.
Right.
Like I'm being long-winded, but for example, I was asking my nephew the other day because he was going to go meet up with his younger sister, and I was asking him, "So, do you feel like the pressure to set an example for your sister?" So, and he's like, "No, not really." And he's like, "Probably because I have my parents and they've always been around, so I don't really have. They set the example; she could follow that." So, okay, that makes sense. And then I asked him, "Do you feel the pressure to protect her?" And he said, "Yeah, but that's because she's a woman and she's younger." And I think that's just a natural thing. Like I
Right.
naturally, and I was like, yeah, that's true too. Because I feel the pressure to protect my sister, and she's fully married, doesn't even live. We don't live in the same
Yeah.
house, but I still feel like if in my best Jamaican, if any boy make a mistake, cross the line, I'm there. Like she could count on me, type thing. So yeah, but otherwise than that, I think the gender role thing is not something that I follow or subscribe to anymore. Not and I don't think it's a good or bad thing. Everybody has their thing, but for me, it's not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It
And
might.
I
It might. It might change 10 years from now. Right. It might
It's also,
totally. Evolution is always moving. Everything is just urban ebb and flow. So we'll see.
that's
We'll see.
oh, you had a question, I think.
Yeah.
no, it's just a piggyback
Mhm.
for your what you were saying with the gender, and I I totally agree with that. Like I feel like there shouldn't really like how there's some women that like it's like if they don't have the male that does do that automatically, if they don't do that, then no marry. I don't even want to marry them. Don't like I don't need that in my life,
Mm.
and it's just
Yeah.
sometimes it can be a little too much.
Yeah.
Like right now here, there's no kind of like it's the only time that I would say that there would be that change is like what you said, like if it's something to fix something that I can't fix,
Yep.
then but when it comes to food, like sometimes every time I go outside, I'm always like they know my name at Metro because I'm
Mm.
always there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
picking something up. But then there's days here where we're missing quite a few things. I'll go to sleep, wake up, and the fridge is full, because Sean will order something. Like there's no you have to do this, you have to do that. We just
Right.
do it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it should be that way. Not everyone's going to agree with us,
Yeah.
but
And if it works,
True.
whatever works for you works
yeah,
for you.
whatever works for you.
But it doesn't have
Exactly.
to. I think a true partnership and a true team is when and we could be speaking sports, we could be speaking relationships, is when everybody could fill the role of the other person.
Yep.
Next man up or next
Yep.
woman up type thing.
Next person up.
Next
That's it.
person up. And
Next
nobody,
person
and
up.
again, you don't have to be as good a cleaner as I am, but clean.
Yeah.
Like, that's just at least be clean. You don't
Yep.
have to work as hard
Try
as
your best.
I work, but work.
Mhm.
I can tell you in our relationship, she's the hard worker, not me. At least not in comparison, definitely. Because again, that is also a relative thing, which we often suffer death by comparison. We'll look at another person and say, "Oh, that person's working 40 hours a day. I need to work 40 hours. I need to work 41, or I'm not working hard. That's not how that works. Work is hard. What hard work is what it is to you. But I digress. Partnership is we both kick in our best way possible.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. And that's the thing. Do your best. Forget the rest. Again, tag in for some help if you need. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Just do what
That,
you can.
that,
Right.
that,
Because
that.
again, some again, I've seen it, and I've even been a part of it. Some, when you're growing up, where you're the woman of the house is usually the cook and whatnot. Some women were never taught to cook. So, luckily for me, I was dabbling with cooking and whatnot, and I learned. So I was usually the cook when it comes to my relationships, and I was fine with it. Right. That
That's
person
me.
just has to find something to kind of compensate for me doing this. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay, cool. I feel no ways. I'm going to get it done. And we need to eat. So here we are eating.
I enjoy
Well,
cooking.
that's the thing too. Like I actually have a little story.
Mm.
Mm,
I remember I think I went to the States for the weekend or whatever, and then because obviously I'm the one that I do the foods stuff, and so I was gone for the weekend, and then Sean called me. He's just like, I made pancakes. I
proud
was like,
moment.
good for you. That's wicked. Like, cause you have to open it, do this, that, and he's not that guy.
Uh,
And he's like, yeah, I made pancakes. I'm like, great. How do they taste? He's like, they were black.
oh damn.
And I said, see, this is why I do that. So, like, certain things, you have to have that.
Yeah. That's-
Wow.
Would
Yeah.
I have him make me pancakes? No.
yeah.
Pretty much know your role, folks. Know your
Right.
role.
Exactly.
Don't go above and beyond when you know you can't.
He was
Exactly.
like, when are you coming back? Because
I can't. I
there's
need
only
pancakes.
so much black pancakes.
I need help. I need help.
But yeah,
It's
That's-
crazy.
like
Sean,
that
you
story.
gotta
And
do better, bro. You gotta do better.
Yeah.
Come
Be
on.
better.
Come on, bro. Well, I'm playing. I'm playing. But to
no,
that
it's
point,
true.
to that point,
Because,
sorry, go ahead.
no, go.
No, go ahead. Sorry, you say.
No, I was just gonna say, it's true because it's like you put it in the pan and then your eyes, you get distracted. Like something nice is on TV, and that's your focus until you start smelling something, and then you're like, damn,
What's going on over
I
here?
did make something the other. I did make something a few minutes ago. Maybe
Yep.
I should attend back to that.
Especially
Whoops.
if you're not used to making it. You're not thinking about
Yeah,
how long it's gonna take and all that. It's true. It's true.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It is true.
And
It is
that
true.
I was gonna say that is actually like one of the reasons I learned to cook is because I didn't want to have to depend on a woman to cook for me. That was one of the reasons, or I didn't want to depend on anybody for that matter to have to cook for me.
Mm.
That was one of the main reasons. Like, okay, I'm gonna learn to cook because I can't.
This
Gotta
guy.
survive. Yeah, I gotta survive in this world. Like, mom doesn't live forever. Dad doesn't live forever. You gotta learn. And I grew up watching my dad cook, so
That's me too.
was
Me
never
too.
wasn't in that space of my mom did all the cooking. No, I actually grew up. Not that I'm actually sorry. You know what? I should say this. Growing up, my parents did not. There wasn't that gender role thing to that degree. Both of them cooked. Both of them cleaned. Both of them worked. So it was never like my mom did this, my dad did that. The older they got, my dad got a little different, but that's a different story.
A little bit on the lazy side.
That's
Dependent.
It's a very hardworking man. It's a very hardworking.
Oh, I have another quick story.
Uh,
So I remember telling my mom that burnt pancake story,
uh,
and I had to go in. I had to get surgery done for something, and so because I had to get surgery, I couldn't move. Like I had to stay in bed for like a couple
Mm.
months or something.
mm.
So my mom never forgot that story. She traveled from Scarborough
To cook,
no, to well, she
To
made
make
food.
pancakes?
She would make food, the food that she would make when I was a kid, like soup and
uh,
the dumpling and the ackee and
Mm.
saltfish. And she didn't care. Like it only took that story for her to say listen, I will travel mountains to bring my daughter food because I do not want this man making food for my daughter.
Gotta
And,
love it. Gotta
you
love
know,
it. That's jokes.
I think his,
Wow.
His
That
reputation
resonated. Yep.
is
It followed.
yeah,
No, we're
it's,
not letting that happen again. I don't
I
want to
don't
see
even
part
think
two,
he,
Sean.
I
I'm
So,
don't
coming
think
over.
I don't even think he knows that story until
uh,
he watches because he watches the you guys show. He watches it,
Oh,
so he'll
uh,
know once he sees.
I will not be attending your next live because we're clowning him right now. Sorry. I'm on hiatus. I'm
better
going to
yet,
be, my phone is
Sean,
broken.
come up here so we could
Oh,
clown
yeah. Sean, reach up the podium, please. You need to speak on this. All right.
defend thyself, sir.
we have exposed you, sir. Now, let us know. Let us know. We
Oh
got to know.
man,
Well, yeah, let's leave it there. That was a good one. A lot of
Yeah.
memories,
Yeah.
a lot of past memories and future and present projections of how life has changed and how life once was for us. So it's good to make those connections because they always say your childhood is very much so a big part of why you are who you are today, and making those connections was interesting. It was very interesting. Thank you, guys.
One last question.
Mhm.
If you could, do you have access to your yearbook? Do you know where it is right now? One of your yearbooks?
No.
No.
I mean, I know it's packed away somewhere, but I couldn't tell you where.
Okay.
mine
I haven't seen
unfortunately
mine.
is gone, gone,
You
gone.
lost it? Lost it?
No, I had to So when I moved the first time, I had a storage unit, and I couldn't keep up with the storage thing,
Payment?
and they would always tell me, Listen, if you don't pay, we're getting rid of everything."
Oh,
Yeah. And in that
Mm.
storage unit, I had a whole bunch of nostalgia, the yearbook.
those
I think
mother
some of my
bitches.
ribbons and
That
Uh,
hurts.
that
That
hurt.
hurts.
yeah, it hurt me, but
Watch.
I
That's
didn't
one of
have the seven
The
hundred
next
dollars at the time.
the next
that's,
show. I'm going to show you some nostalgic stuff that I saw that was packed in because we moved my family sold the house
mhm,
in Hotobuko. There was
mhm.
like big crates of stuff that was just packed. I mean, from when my dad came to Nigeria from Nigeria, and my mom and all, like there was stuff. So I'm going to show you some stuff next show. Remind me. I'm going to show you some stuff that you were like, oh my goodness, how? And I said I'm going to make sure that this doesn't disappear. So I'm going to show you again. Only it can only survive in Ontario. That's how I know you're going to love it when you see it. So just remind me a couple things that you're going to be like, oh wow. So remind me nostalgia.
That's one of the bright sides of social media for me. It keeps some of those old pictures that I probably would have lost if I didn't have it.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. Very true.
All right, back to work for me.
Yep. All right, folks. That's it. That's all for us. Another great show. We love nostalgia. Nostalgia. So again,
Word.
it's a good way to end the day and the night and the week. Whenever you're watching this, again, we are live. Sorry, not live. We are active on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and even on my LinkedIn if you want to catch it there. We have a lot of content that you guys can definitely absorb. Again, we definitely connect with all our guests. We Slang has his socials. Tanya has hers. I have mine. Again, the socials are all in the description. So get a chance to catch up with any of us that we do our own special things or different things. By all means, like, comment, subscribe. We'll be back again next time. With that being said, you guys have a great one. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.